guys, welcome to the second episode of Beneath the Plot. In the last one, I told you guys about all of the backstory of the plot, how we got to this point, and what the plot is about. So this time, I'm going to tell you what I've been up to lately with it, and some of the... There's a hair in my mouth. Puh. Sorry you had to see that. So yeah, there's been a lot of out of character and in character work that has been going on in the background in the last month or so, and I'm going to tell you guys all about it. So first off, I have a few fairly major roles in the plotline, and I've been searching out particularly good role players who I think will be interested, and trying to find them to fill those roles. So Art, known as also as Art the Lizard, he does lots of like red shirt stuff, and he plays roles for people a lot, and he's a really good role player. So I got him to play the character White Root Mold, and White Root Mold is an elder of the Setgeglu, of the shaman of the Banescale tribe. And he and his counterpart, Sleeping Tree Watcher, have been deep in the marsh for many years, and they were the ones who eventually were able to create the ritual to kill the history and resurrect it with Utekjaw's help. So White Root Mold is kind of like the big major scary villain character, and Art is really good at big major scary villains, so I'm excited about that. And then Eve, hi Eve if you're watching this, is going to be playing a friend of Lucky Scales, and Lucky Scales is a character in the Banescale Fellowship who he's had a very troubled past, and he had two tribe mates that he grew up with his whole life, and they just vanished after partying one night, and that was 12 years ago, and he hasn't seen them since. And so I came to him and I said, hey dude, how would you feel about those two characters being missing because they joined the Savekliel cult, the new Hist cult? So Eve is playing one of them, and we still need to find somebody to play the other one, so if any of you guys are interested, definitely let me know, because they're very important characters for Lucky Scales, and they have been in the service of White Root Mold and Sleeping Tree Watcher for 12 years now, so they've been, deeply ingrained in this whole plot. So yes, it'll be interesting to see how Lucky Scales reacts to that, although we do have some other cool stuff that's going to happen with Lucky Scales, which I'll probably talk about in a future video. So in collecting all of these people, I created a hidden section on the Banescale forum. So I will show that to you. It is called The New Hist, and only people who have the Savekliel tag can see it and post in it. And you also can't see when somebody is tagged as a Savekliel. It's a hidden tag. So people who aren't in the plot don't even know that this little sub-forum is here. And it just has like the basic information about the plot, kind of my OOC schedule here. You can pause it if you want to read it, but like I say, it's not set in stone. And then it is ways that they can be involved, and my hopes for it. So that's the basic introduction. And the forum also has things like, here's the information about the SAP stages, there's 6 stages for it, and you get affected differently depending on how long the SAP has been in your system and how much you're embracing it. And so I have everybody's names here who have the SAP and what stage they're in. Art is on stage 6 because White Root Mold is just basically entirely possessed at this point. But like these guys, like Tavir and Kitsune's character and the character that Ausgatter is going to play, all they're still very much themselves. Like they have increased energy, increased will, and they're aware of everything that's going on, and it's in the later stages, though. I don't even have stages 4, 5, and 6 up because I want them to be a surprise for people. But in the later stages, you start to kind of lose your individuality. You sometimes forget that you're not one big group of people, that you're actually an individual. And Yaclès is slowly taking over your mind. So it seems cool at first, and then it's not. So I'll really quickly go through the rest of this. Deadroot Glade, this is like a forum role play for people who want to do a little bit of that. And they can ask Sleeping Tree Watcher questions in character. And then here's where I post visions that they're receiving. I did this one this morning. And these are visions that Yaclès is sending them, that he's trying to compel them to think the way that he does, essentially. Little OOC chat section. Sings in Shade posted something really cool in it. I can feel the drums of the doom sap throbbing in my veins, and an arduous rhythm as the voice of the as the voices of the Saveclil chant together in harmony, playing out the theme presented to them in their mind's eye. There will be blood, there will be sap, there will be a tale to tell. I thought that was super cool. And then Corpor is just like, derp derp derp. Because Corpor's awesome. So, then people can ask me questions here. I see projections. This is where people can, since the Saveclil are mentally linked, people can post things that their characters are projecting to other characters here. And then, lastly, quests, which is where I will put up psychic missions that Yaclès has sent to people. So, yeah, there's not too many of us yet, but it is cool to have this little worm hidden in the Banescale forums. If you guys haven't seen our new site, it's pretty cool, as you can probably tell. The splash page is really neat. Let me show you. Yeah. So, some of you guys might know the Bosmer Tavir, played by Inoka. She was out of the game for a while because she had a baby, and so she was talking about getting back into the game, and I reached out to her and I was like, hey, you should play, Tavir should have been with Utek Jah this whole time. And so we figured out this really cool thing. Tavir had a curse from Sanguine on him, and Utek, with the help of White Root Mold and Sleeping Tree Watcher, cured or got rid of this curse and replaced it with the sap. And so now Tavir is in stage 1, and he's going to be returning to the Banescale in order to spy on them for Utek. So that should be fun. And then Selly and I have been setting things up. Selly, I hope you're watching this, because this is, it's all very exciting. So Selly has a character named Slisix Kier, and he's a swamp shaman, and the idea is that this will finally be the replacement for Utek Jah, because the tribe has been essentially spiritually leaderless since Utek was gone. And so we kind of got together and figured out how to involve Slisix Kier in all of this, and it turns out that he once encountered White Root Mold and Sleeping Tree Watcher, and they tried to get him into the cult, and he started learning a little bit about it and then booked it out of there. And then he came across an old Banescale named Onwaislu, and Onwaislu had also once been a Setgeglu and realized that the stuff that they were doing was really weird and messed up and left. So Onwaislu, knew all about the whole plot and everything that's going on. Not everything, but knew quite a bit. And so he started teaching Slisix Kier how to be a shaman and taught him all the old Banescale stories and stuff. And then the the Savekliel found out that he was alive, and they sent an assassin. And the assassin will be the character that is from Lucky Scale's past. So it all ties in nicely that way because, like I said, those two characters from Lucky Scale's past have been part of this for a really long time, and they're kind of doing like the dirty work for these old, old fat elders. And so yeah, Anweislu was assassinated, and Slissik's Kier now has come to the Vainscale tribe, not telling them any of this, and is going to sort of be the anti-Utek Jaw for this plotline. So I've been doing a lot of inbox roleplay to save time. I posted this rumor up. Ooh, I have a message. Oh, it's just Varland. He can wait a minute. So I set up this... No, wait, this isn't the rumor I'm looking for. Although that is relevant. And I have posted that on several websites. So here's my little rumor, and it's just Hijuksta, which is sort of my villager type character, has not been seen, and neither has Shirt, Dorian, and Petals. Those are her hatchlings. Or neither has Shirt. Shirt hasn't been around, but Dorian and Petals have. So I did this and said send a message to me if your character decides to poke around. And so Kadava got a hold of me, and we did a little role play with her trying to find out where Hijuksta has been. And so this ties in because Shirt actually ate a piece of a fruit from one of the new Hist trees before Utek was chased out of Percolating Mire. And so ever since then, he's been going through these weird molting, like cocoon-like transformations. And so Hijuksta was worried that the tribe would reject her if she wanted to go to Utek to get him to fix this, and so she just ran off. Kadava went searching for Hijuksta and found his friend Wades in Clouds, who is another one of my many NPC characters, and discovered that Hijuksta went to go see Utek Jaw to figure this out. So then she sent Chogori, who's a newer person in the guild, and he and I did this fantastic roleplay. It was a lot of fun, and it was very detailed, of him and Wades and Clouds going into the deep marshes to find Hijuksta. And they got they encountered a group of the cultists who were just kind of chilling. They don't really know what they were doing for sure. They were just relaxing, camped on the side of the riverbank. And Hijuksta was with them, and Chogori convinced her to come back. And Sleeping Tree Watcher was there, and she told him, I have to go back. I need to tell my people where I'm going, but I'll return. And even though Chogori really wanted to get a hold of Shirt too, the hatchling, he is with Utek Jaw right now, and nobody is sure where Utek Jaw is, because that is his nature. And so Hijuksta told Sleeping Tree Watcher what was up, and they let them go peacefully, and Chogori was very surprised that it didn't come to blows, which is exciting for me because that's one of the main things I want to do with this plot is, have it be very much, this group isn't here to like invade and take over, at least not at first. They're here just doing their own thing. So people feel conflicted about it. So anyway, it was a really fun roleplay, and it took up a little more of my free time, well, not free time, my editing time than I wanted it to, but it was definitely worth it. And we finished it off with some in-game roleplay, and now Hijuksta is temporarily back. So meanwhile, I did a roleplay with Nick Transu's character, Aendale, and Utek Jaw, played himself up to be the victim and said his tribe betrayed him and chased him away. And then took him into the deep marshes. And Aendale or Nick do not know this, but there is a little black lizard with them, and it's Shirt, the hatchling. So this is what's happening with Utek. and he is trying to convince Andale to help him, and Andale seems pretty convinced. And we're actually not done with the role play because it's going a little bit slower, just because we're not responding at the rapid fire rates that Guru and I were. Andale is about to walk into the glade where all the Savekliel are, and Utek's gonna have him lick the sap. So once that happens, I will give Nick access to the hidden forum, and then he will be in and good to go. So last time I mentioned that I kind of had a falling out with Holes in Head, and I just hate that. It makes me sad, and I don't like to have disagreements with people, and we had a lot of really cool role plays together. So yeah, I just thought it would be good to give him a heads up and see if he wants to get involved, because it's right up his alley, and I know that there's a lot of role players in Anzai Leal that would probably be down for this plot too. So hopefully he tells them. I don't know for sure. He hasn't responded, but if he doesn't, that's okay. I'm not gonna be upset about it. I just felt like it was the right thing to do, I guess. So yes, I posted this rumor on the rumor mill about a movement happening in the southern and central marshes, and I also posted it up on the Children of Skyrim website and the Morrowind website. Oh hey, look at that! It's Dom. Hi Dom. Super cool. Anyway. So I will do more rumors. Maybe tomorrow I'll post another one up, just to kind of get people excited and let them know that it's going to happen. So that is pretty much everything that I've been doing to get ready. Obviously, I didn't mention every single person I contacted, but there's quite a few. And so next, my plan is to continue to work with the role players that I have to get them ready for the plot and to keep them excited about it. And that section on the Banescale forum will really help with that. And then I'm going to, here pretty soon, announce the plotline on TESORP and do a call for anybody else who wanting to get involved. And yeah, that's kind of scary to think about because big announcements like that, I usually just get so many messages, and it's overwhelming and incredibly time consuming to respond to all of them. But it'll be fun, and the bummer is out of all those messages that I get, only about 5 of those people will actually end up doing the role play. Everybody loves to talk about it, but they don't want to actually have to do the work, which it's not even work. It's fun, but I don't know. Whatever, some people. So yeah, that's pretty much my plans next, and I can't remember if I've mentioned this to you guys or not yet, but I am going on a vacation for a week on the first week of March, which is the worst possible timing ever. And it was not my idea. So my dad has a Sky Miles card, and he is getting rid of it. So he had extra miles, and he said, Floyd, he didn't say Floyd, but he said, son, pick a place you want to go, and if we have enough miles, I'll take you there. And this is to celebrate my 25th birthday, which is coming up. So I am pretty stoked. We're going to Belize, and we're going to the ruins which inspired the ruins in the Elder Scrolls, the Argonian ruins in the Elder Scrolls Online. So I'm going to get a lot of inspiration for this plotline while I'm down there, I think, because it's such a jungle. And my dad's paying for everything, so sweet. And I've never been outside of the country before, except for Canada, which doesn't count, But, so I'm pretty stoked. But again, it's at the worst possible time, and I'm just stressing out trying to finish all these projects before then. Speaking of which, I have to go roleplay, I have to go edit the White Falls roleplay for the next episode of Rock and Roleplay. So I'm going to go do that. But yeah, that's how the plot is going, and once I get back after my vacation, I'll be starting events right away, and we'll be getting into it. So you might not see another episode of this until then, I might be able to fit in an episode of Planet Floyd before I leave, but we'll see. And for the vacation, I will be taking footage constantly, so you'll have a lot to see on Planet Floyd for that, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Keep role playing. Peace.